when you go back and watch that Georgia Tech tape, what would you, if you had to give a number grade or letter grade for your defense, considering just the one touchdown, where would you place it?
I wouldn't want to necessarily grade them. Obviously we weren't good enough. I thought our guys, again, competed incredibly hard. I thought we had a good plan. I thought, for the most part, our guys executed real well against the run. They had about 3 runs that they got out on us. They executed well, and we were just a little bit off in our technique and our assignments, and they're good enough to exploit us. There's a lot to like, outside of, losing the game and not, being able to keep them out of the end zone. We had a busted coverage. We should be doubling the guy they threw to on the fade route, and we're getting ready to hit the quarterback just before he throws, just as he's throwing. If we don't, again, I know you can't take those plays back, but you're asking, so I'm telling. So, but it's irregardless. It all feels the same when you don't win. So.
Thoughts on the play of the safeties with Robert out there in the first half?
I thought they did pretty well. Yeah, I thought they played well, executed their assignments, played with good discipline, tackled pretty well. So was pleased.
Learning experience for the corners, especially McKenzie.
Well, yeah, you learn from every game. Whether you're successful or not, and they execute well. You're in high stress coverage. Those guys are truly out there on an island. We try to help them some. You can't help them the whole game and stop the run as well. And they put you in that situation. That's why they're very successful when they do choose to throw the football. But we got to be better, and there's some things that we could have done to be better. And we've got to do a better job, coaches, to give them more tools in their toolbox, so to speak, and change up some alignments, some techniques, things like that that'll help them. But McKenzie's a very competitive and prideful young guy, and I'm sure he was as disappointed as anybody in a few of those balls.
Given the way the schedule sets up for you guys the next couple of weeks, does it really test your mettle as coaches to keep you focused on this week and not?
No, I don't think so. I don't. You can't. You can't put the cart before the horse. I've said that a lot, and I just believe it firmly. You gotta, you focus on the now, and everything has its time, and our guys want to play well, and you don't prepare the right way or focus the right way or respect people the right way, then you're not going to play the right way. So it's pretty easy. We're playing Georgia State this week. We need to get our 8th win. We lost a week ago, humbled a week ago. We don't have the right to be looking past anybody.
Is it natural for young guys?
I don't think so. Only if you guys tell them to. Because we're not telling them. So who are they? I don't know who they would be listening to. Unless you're telling them mom and dad are telling them, don't worry about this week. I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I don't think like them.
To be fair,
if they're young guys that think that way.
To be fair, there being a clock there that has been on all year long.
Excuse me?
The countdown clock that's been on.
Yeah, but now okay, that's there, and that'll be there whatever day it is. We got X, Y, Z number of days and hours before that game gets here. It'll get here. The countdown ain't gonna be 0 on this Saturday, So, I think Georgia State's up for forfeiting, just giving us the W. We get a bye week, and we can both work on each other. Georgia State's a good competitive team that they've been in a bunch of real tight games this year, and they've got some good quality players. They've had good success on offense, so our guys have seen that. They've watched that team go to Washington and be up at Washington been there a couple times myself. It's a very difficult place to play, and they're winning 14-0 at halftime. So you don't do that when you got a bunch of ham and eggers. You do that when you got players and guys that are capable, guys that believe, and then whether it's Arkansas State, good tight ball game against guys that when you watch Arkansas State play, they got a bunch of good-looking players, and same thing with South Alabama, and those are games that come down. Those are one-score games. So you see enough really good plays in there. It's gotten our guys' attention. 9 and 8 are, they're on the watch list for the Mackey and the Biletnikoff, and then the quarterback is playing really, really well. Throws with great accuracy, and they're not going to let our D-line just tee off on them. They're going to catch it and throw it. So, our guys see that tape. So, they know when somebody, can play and when they can't. And these guys are very capable on offense. So.
I guess you just kind of alluded to it, their passing game. Is it just a lot of quick hit, get it out as soon as
a lot of deep throws, though, too. The quick underneath stuff, but 1, 2, 3, work off of leverage and coverage, and they run a ton of, double moves and some things that really challenge your discipline, like a option team would with a post wheel concept. That when you have bad eyes or bad technique, these guys can go up and get the ball, and the quarterback places it in the right spot. So they know how to try to manipulate you, and they're a no-huddle team, and pick and choose their spots, and recognize coverages and pressures and things like that, and try to put themselves in good, positive play. So they hadn't just fallen off the turnip truck. These guys, you can see they have a system in place offensively. They know what they're doing, and they got a good quarterback that's managing them well. So, but they don't expect a lot of 5 and 7 step drops. I think they'll, under 3 seconds they're launching the ball, short and long.
Is that comparable to anything that might be a little more familiar with everybody?
From this schedule.
Or just the college football in general?
Yeah, it's a 4-wide spread version. It's not, there's some of the same stuff that you see our offense do in a lot of these offenses, where they incorporate a tight end in and outside of the box, and getting the 4 wides and some motions to kind of some eye candy things, but enough run game, gap schemes that force you to, you got to play with the numbers in the box as well to stop the run, so that you can't sit in a 2 shell all day, so like a lot of the teams, they're out there doing it. I think that's a big reason why there's more and more parity in college football now. Again, it's easier. It's kind of like option philosophy years and years ago. If a guy understands space and can catch the football, a lot of the zone schemes, those guys aren't getting pressed and knocked around, so it's easy for guys to get open and quarterbacks to throw it. You don't have to block those guys up front, and just kind of get in somebody's way and execute and play the cat and mouse game, with the numbers and count the box and steal your signals and all that kind of stuff. So to get an upper hand offensively. So.
But you had to have an idea in August as to how good your defense could be, what you thought their potential was. 10 games is a pretty good sample size. Anything that surprised you, or are they pretty much what you thought?
I'm just really pleased with the competitiveness of the group and the chemistry. Those are things that you just don't always know. Again, you try to nourish that and lead and guide them, set an example, but they've got to be the ones that kind of take ownership with those things. And but the week in and week out, the work that they put in, those things are real pleasing, and you're always hopeful, but you just don't know.
But the on-the-field product, is it pretty much what you thought it could be?
I mean, yeah, if everything else, falls into place, you had a chance to be pretty good. Some guys had to grow up and gain experience, and certainly failures along the way, and we didn't coach them good enough or didn't play well enough, and but that's going to happen every year, but otherwise, underachieving is one of your biggest fears as a coach. You certainly want your guys to always overachieve or meet your expectations, and You always have this expectation every year. This is what it's supposed to look like regardless of the talent and experience, and then sometimes you hit it and sometimes you don't, and sometimes you exceed your expectations and sometimes you don't live up to them. But up to this point, it's been pretty solid, but be honest, we've got work to do, and that it's all for naught in your little coaching world that you live in if you don't finish the right way. So, but a lot to like.
Dorian and Daniel got some experience snaps.
Yep.
Did you see out of him?
Just really, he wasn't. The moment wasn't too big for him. It's like Chris Farley right there. You gotta laugh, man. Throw him up on YouTube. What is he talking about? And go snot bubble. It's good stuff. But really pleased with. He was very fearless. He had again. I'm always the guy. I point out the mistakes. I got to be that guy. But man, he did really, really well. And that's a game that challenges in a lot of different ways, and a lot happens like that. And you got to read it the correct way. And when you don't, bad things can happen. And for the most part, he did real well that way. And then physically tackled well, physically blitzed well. Was super engaged and was able to follow along in regards to some adjustments midstream. They had some success coming out the third quarter, and we changed some things up, and that's not easy to do, particularly with young guys, and he was on point. So super pleased with both he and BJ. They split the time there.
And I know still a couple of games left in the season, but losing to Stephon and Tony, having those guys and the ones that you redshirted, future's bright at that position.
Yeah, I've preached to all of our guys, as you break down practice at the end of practice every day and bring everybody up, and as a coach, try to utilize every moment that I have left, and just always thinking ahead as we do in the coaching world. But keep pointing to these guys. Look at these guys; they act like grown men, and I'm talking about smashing and sacking a quarterback, but how they go about their business, the accountability, the discipline, the maturity, how they're so coachable, just they're tough-minded, they're reliable, they're super consistent, very humble, just great leaders. And when you have that in your group and you continue to nourish that whole concept, and as a coach and certainly as with your leaders, with the young guys, I think it's easy for those young guys to buy in. And this next group of guys, the B.J. Goodsons and Ben Boulware and Kellen Jones and some of these older guys, Travis Blanks will be coming back. It'll be a lot easier for, these new leaders to emerge and the young guys to follow suit. So, I love our group. I love it. And I'm gonna miss those other guys big time. But that happens every year. You're gonna lose guys, and hopefully you've been doing well, in regards to developing your guys and recruiting and all those kinds of things. But we're gonna have a very good group, and we've got some guys coming in at semester as well. They're gonna be just what the doctor ordered, just in regards to fitting, mindset, work ethic, toughness, ability. All those things, and no prima donnas in the group whatsoever.
Kind of along that same line, with it being senior day, what has this group of seniors meant to this program?
Golly, I've just been here a few short years, but they've helped me. We've all kind of grown together. A lot of them were just beginning their playing careers 2 years ago, so it's they're everything that the program stands for. Pretty much I just defined Stephon and Tony. Can't say enough about them. Yeah, they're really good players, but they're super humble, very coachable. It's been a consistent group. It's been a hungry group. It's been a tough group. And, it's a bunch of good football players getting ready to walk out of here. So got a lot of work to do as coaches, but been great ambassadors for this program and leaders within the confines of our football building.
With the offensive struggles, it seems like it would have been easy, even during the winning streak, for your unit to maybe get frustrated. And just how pleased have you been that there hasn't really been any finger pointing? They've said and done all the right things.
Yeah, I think it's a reflection of culture and character. You know, you've got great leaders from the players, and I think that successful organizations have great leadership from the top. You know, that those things are going to happen. How do you navigate? Because everybody can navigate all the success, and that's not easy either. But how do you handle and navigate, adversity? And you do it long enough. You've been around it, and I don't know a whole lot of other places, but handling adversity is a key to great leadership too, and because that's easy to do, but we don't have a staff that's like that, and certainly we don't have character issues with our players. So it's not a real surprise that our guys come back and they're looking for guidance and leadership, and what do we do next, coach? And they jump in line, or sometimes where you don't have to say anything. They're grabbing, I got this, coach, and we'll be just fine. So it's pleasing. I couldn't imagine, and I've never been subjected to it being any other way. So, I'm probably sheltered and lucky, both, but apologize for neither. All right.
Hey, Coach.